What up, gamers? Can you guys hear me? What about on stream? Oh my god. Okay, I think I'm ready. My internet looks unstable, but hopefully it'll be okay. Alright, so I am Kevosaurus, or Kev. I am a sculptor or Minecraft organics artist. My style is mainly I try to mimic the voxel art style, so I only stick to full blocks and stuff that doesn't use like any kind of micro blocks like vents or slabs or anything like that. Just because it's cleaner and looks nice. Um, I also like to do my stuff in like monotone colors just to mimic uh like stone sculptures or marble. That's just my aesthetic, very simple and minimal. And then I also mainly focus on shape, so I appreciate good shape over color. So the first thing I'm going to show is out of game. Uh, so it should be on stream now, but this is a program called Doll by Terrawell. And this program is really good for if you have trouble posing. So this will help you figure out a pose. I don't think it's really accurate for anatomy purposes, but pretty close, I think. Um, so yeah, like if you're brainstorming a sculpture and you don't have a pose in mind, this can really help you figure it out. So you can take the arm and just like do this or do that, the head, tilt it, body, do some weird shit like that. um, so yeah, really neat program, really helpful. I don't use it as often, but if I'm really having problems finding a pose, I'll use this. And it's also free, so bonus. The program is called Design Doll. Design Doll. Should be free. Okay. So I'm gonna talk about some stuff before I do a live demo. That should be like later half of this stream. So the first thing I want to talk about is getting into the mindset of sculpting. So this is a big one for me, but I have to be in the mood for building. If I'm not in the mood, I won't create good stuff. And then I'll just hate whatever I make. So that's, at least for me, I have to be in the mood. Also having a good idea to build. If you don't have an idea, then you're just gonna like, I don't know, derp around, which is like what I do a lot. I just join a server and just derp around without having any idea what to build, and I just waste my time. The warp, by the way, is warp sculpture. So yeah, and then the last thing for getting into the mindset is to have low expectations of yourself, and that might sound weird, but I don't know, it's this weird psychological thing that I do to myself. If I don't expect anything out of myself, I will end up making something good and surprising myself. And then that will make me want to create even more sculptures. Yeah, might be weird, but it works for me. So some of the tools that I use are mainly World Edit and Voxel Sniper. So oh, yeah, I have it in my inventory already, but I just have like 2 brushes and the voxel stuff, as well as a block. Yeah, mainly what I do is I would get a sphere of whatever block you want to use. In my case, I use diamond because diamond is a good block to It's good for like, how do I say this? It's not a repeating texture, so you can really see the distinctions within each block so that you can, you know, smooth your stuff very accurately. And this is like a pet peeve of mine, but always use world edit spheres over voxel spheres because you don't get that stupid nipple. I'll show you what I mean. See, that one is like really smooth. However, if you use a voxel sphere, you get that weird nipple on the sides. And it's just like, it's small, but it bugs me so much when people use this over world edit. Like, I don't know. And like, you also take up space on your world edit brush. So instead of having it be on lift, you can have it on sphere and lift at the same time. So you're making it more efficient. Some other brushes that I use are from CraftScript. So this will need a separate tool. The one that I really like is Laser. And this is basically your line brush, but way better. So your standard line brush, choose one point, select your second point. But this, you just click where you're looking and it'll create a line. It should. Or not. Oh, there it goes. Okay, matte doesn't work. But yeah, this just creates a line wherever you're looking. So this can be helpful for, I use it mainly for cloth work and hair, but I'm sure you can find a use for it yourself. Another one is spike brush. So let's see, let's build spike, block, size, length. It works and it works. So this is good for also hair. Like if you're gonna taper your hair ends, this is really good. Also stuff like, I don't know, feathers, teeth, horns, all that stuff. Yeah, that's mostly it for tools. So I'm gonna talk about references real quick. So it's really good to have references for your sculptures. I mainly do like recreations of stuff, but sometimes I just gather references and make something inspired off of it. Pinterest is really good for that. If you follow me on Pinterest, you can see like I have a board for every build that I've done or am about to do. And it's just like a really good website to have all your images in one spot you can reference back to. Yeah, I think you need a Pinterest to actually look at other people's boards as well. But it's free to make and it's really simple to set up. So yeah. All right, I'm gonna delete all this now, and I'm gonna try to do a live demo. Didn't work? Okay. Actually, let me import something. It'll show you my process. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, so starting at the far southeast side, I was trying to document my process, but I just got carried away. So this is a build that I started recently. So, oh yeah, this is where I use the laser brush. So I would, okay, so I do a method called the stickman method. So that's where I use a laser brush to create like a stickman pose of what I'm gonna make. You can see here with the arms, just a single line with a sphere as the joints or the elbows. I forgot to do it for, or I got far ahead with the legs and the chest, but you can imagine like what that would look like, and I'll show it later too. So yeah, after that, I would fill it in with the one next to it, like start roughing in the mass, and then the next one here with the white, I would start smoothing it and add stuff like hands and feet. And then I would add clothes. Still not doing the hair because you have to do the clothes first, otherwise the hair will get in the way. And sometimes the hair or the clothes dictates how the hair will move. And then moving on, I would wireframe the coat. Still no hair. And after I finish the coat, I add the hair. And this is what I mean, like the coat, the neck of the coat would block some of the hair in the back, so the hair has to go up over it and flow backwards. And then, oh, this is random stuff. Oh, this is a good example of using the spike brush to like create texture. Texture without color. It's texture just using depth. Yeah, this is just random. I was testing something. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna do a live demo now. I'm going to make the body of Hero from 02, or from Darling in the Franxx. So I'm gonna copy this. And then paste it somewhere else. Uh-oh. Close. All right. So This is kind of weird because I already have the head, but usually I would start like at the waist and work my way down to the legs, and then go up to the torso and do the head last. But I already have the head, so it'll be a little bit different. All right. I need the reference image. I can show clothes later if I have time. I have a new method that is pretty efficient. Okay, so in the poster, he's just like standing still with his head up. So I already have the head looking up, so I just need to make the body. It'll be simple enough. I'm just gonna drag it down, kind of guess how long the torso is. I'm gonna use two spheres to indicate the shoulders, even though there's already shoulders, but I just want to like a clear indication. And then, so that might be a good torso length. And it doesn't really matter because I can just do some like small edits if I need to fix the length. And then I'm gonna bring out the hips. And then just drag down the legs. And then use a sphere for the kneecap. Oh. So I always use spheres for like major like joints and stuff, or I don't even know if they're called joints, but like stuff like elbows and knees, um, feet, hands, just so you can see like where they are visually instead of like having to guess later on. Yeah, I'm not like an anatomy expert. Like I don't study anatomy at all. I don't study sculpting. Like everything I learn is just like through Minecraft. Okay, so that's like a basic start. Yeah. Now what do I do? I would just rough out the mass. So right now I'm just like bulking it up to make it not a stickman after I did the stickman pose. Okay. And then I'm gonna do the arms now. His arms are like kind of back a little bit. Maybe not that much. Okay, I'm not gonna do the forearm right now because it's gonna get in the way of the hips. So I'll save that late for later. But right now I'm gonna start filling in one side of the leg. And I'm using BE lift for this. Alright, so the thigh is looking pretty good from this side, but on this side is looking pretty weak. So I need to fill this in or roll this away. So I think I made it too angled forward, so I'm just gonna melt like all this away. Alright, and then since this is like too forward, I'll just move it back. Where did I set it? Instead of like redrawing the spheres, I'll just use Edit to move it back. Okay. So yeah, I marked the knee here with this like line, just so it doesn't get confusing. Okay. So thigh is like looking okay. Now the mass roughed in. And then I would transition to the calf. So I guess I like kind of shape it from the 2D view, and then I would go in and just like kind of like go around in a 3D motion, like fill it in. So like right now, it's looking flat from this angle, but this angle looks like good. So once you have like one side, I guess you can go in and like fill it in a 3D way. All right. And then I always like over estimate my like the thickness of the legs and stuff like that, just because when you go over with blend ball, it'll start eroding it and take off like 1 or 2 layers of thickness. So once you start blending it. This is BBB, brush blend ball. It's also good to have like a G mask on. So right now I have it on air and diamond. So that way if I like misclick over there, it's not gonna do anything. So yeah, that's like one leg down. Um, Obviously you would go in and tweak it a little bit more. Like this bend here is looking a little bit weird. Yeah, looks alright, I guess. And then once you're done with the blend ball, you would go in and smooth it by hand as well, just to like get rid of these like weird things like this right here, and then stuff like this, all this. Yeah. I guess I'll move on to the arm now. So there's like uh, a few ways to do arms, I think. You can do what I just did right there with the line brush or the laser brush. You can also use just line, yeah, and like set your thickness. Your position 1, position 2, do line, block, thickness. And then like kind of work off that. I always make it from scratch. And then if I need to, like, if it's like on a weird angle, I'll deform it if it's not right on the first try. So yeah, you can like work off of this, like start adding mass to this. Which might be easier, but you know, I'm always like interchanging methods for some reason. I don't know. Yeah. So I'm gonna just flip this because it's not like the main focal point of this build, and it's just standing still. All right, now I'm gonna work on the torso. So, judging from your hip size, this is where you define your torso size, I would say. So, giving like a little bit curvy hips, but not too much because the dude. All right, I'm gonna just chop off his arm real quick. All right, so now we can see the torso better. All the way. So basically just like connect the hip to, since I already had it up here, the width of the shoulder or the upper body. But normally I would like start from the hips and then like go up, bring it up, or curve it in and then bring it out since he's a male. So his torso is a little bit bigger. And then just blend ball it. All right. It looks decent, I guess. Legs might be weird now. But obviously you would spend more time and not like do all this in like 20 minutes. Um, it's also good to like step away from the build. Like on the second day, just come back to it and like see what you didn't see the first time you started. If that makes sense. Like you look at it with a fresh pair of eyes. Cape? What cape? You mean the coat? Um, there's a wireframe here. So I used the laser brush for this. Okay. I think I need to bring out his stomach more. Yeah. Okay, that's good for now. How much time left? 15 minutes? I can show some cloth work, I guess. So for cloth work, I used to just do it by hand, which probably sounds like a nightmare, but yeah, I would just do it by hand. But I tried out this new method and it works pretty good. So I would still do this wireframe, just like the very like outer edges of the cape, or I mean the coat. And then I would here, I'll just copy it. All right. So first of all, after you make your wireframe, always make a copy because you're gonna need it later. And then basically you just sculpt the clothes as if it were like a solid. So apply the same techniques as like sculpting a body to the clothes. So I'm gonna do sphere 10, mask 0, 5. And basically, instead of doing it by hand or doing a mesh frame, you just sculpt it. Like, that simple. So you would go around this. Okay, not the collar, because that's like pretty delicate, so I would do that by hand still. Yeah, you could use BR spline, but I don't know how to use it and I haven't bothered looking into it. Like this is like a really like brute force method, and it's really, you can see what you're doing like right away instead of like having to draw multiple lines and stuff. So once you have it like covered like this, you can start adding like um the like the ripples in the fabric. So you would just like use like lifts for that. So say it like curves out here. So you would like do something like this. It's like that ripple, and then it curves like it'll curve in and out again. And then you can just like fill it in with lift. And then you would smooth it out, all that stuff. And then once you're all done, you would like, this might take a while, but you would actually kind of like make it solid all around. And the reason for this is because you would use the hollow command and then, you know, like carve out what you don't need. So I might be able to do right now. So if you Gmask diamond, do hollow. then now you just do either BE lift or BE melt and just like carve away. Didn't do it there. Carve away all of this. Then what you're left with is like a one thick wide of your cloth. Yeah. That's like far more easier and time efficient than doing everything by hand. How do you use BR spline? I don't know. I've never used it. I couldn't tell you. Yeah, that's all I have. So if anybody has questions besides BR spline. Here. Here I would use CS laser as well as the curve command. So CS laser. CS laser is part of craft scripts. So with this I can just like draw here. Oh, FG mask. Like draw here. This is like good for like single strands, not so much like thick strands, but could be too sharp. So another method is just to use the curve command. So you need to set your selection to convex and just like spam second position and do slash curve. So in this case, pink here. And that gives you like a more fluid curve. And you can also change the thickness if you want, so however thick you need it. But I just keep it on one thickness. And then I would like, I don't know, do it again. And then just like fill it in with the voxel sniper using line brush. Like that. And then spike is good for this as well. I use it for heroes here, right here. This was the combination of laser brush and spike brush, as well as beeline. So if I have do something like this, like add on the hair onto his head. Bring it down. Then do spike. So let's see us build spike. Block size. This looks like 3 wide, and then make it longer than the size. So line or length 5 maybe, and that just like tapers the end. So you get that like nice tapered edge on the hair. Yeah, anything else? Hips. Have you tips? Like specifically what? Like the shape of the hips or what? The hair, I just use like a sphere brush of size 1. So you can see that. And then spike brush to taper it. So that was use build spike. Curves at humans and make it realistic. I don't know, man. I don't study anatomy. Just like eyeball it, use references. You know, like I know males, you know, their hips like aren't as curvy as the females. You know, it's like if you look at it this way, you can see the gradual curve compared to like 0.2 over here, which her curve is like more dramatic. The boots. It's actually really easy. You just do an adjacent mask. So let me here, I'll just delete one of these and do it again. 251. Oh. Okay. So I have the foot shape already. And what I would do is I would just use like I would stack blocks with adjacent mask. So I would do spear brush, say 10, mask. We'll do this. So G mask again. So mask, tilde, brackets. So this is next to black wool and 0. So this means I'm only going to place next to black wool and only replace air. That way I don't destroy the foot. I would bring it up to maybe there. And then same thing, except change the block. So 41, 10, and then change the mask. So next to 57, which is diamond, and only air. And then keep stacking until you get the thickness of the boot. So back to diamond, mask next to 41. And then just keep repeating that until you have the thickness that you want. And then select it all. Change it all to one block, so 57 to 41. G mask 41. Hollow. And then just delete top part. And then you have like a hollow boot. Yeah, and then for like the heel, you would have to actually do some stuff by hand or just lift it and just fill it in. But yeah, that's it for me. My time is up. Hope you all learned something. And then I think there's a panel right after this, so I would say go check that out. Yeah. Peace.